Hello, what is up everybody? Hopefully you guys have an amazing day as I am, but in today's video I have the top 5 most essential playmaking badges for people who run the point guard, so the primary ball handler, and for people who play the shooting guard position, small forward position, power forward position, center position, who aren't the primary ball handler. I also have the top 5 most essential badges for you guys as well later in the video. But let's thank you guys so much for the love and support lately. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button, follow me on my socials. Let's get straight into this video. Don't want to hold you guys for too much longer. Let's go straight into it, man. For the first playmaking badge, which is the most essential playmaking badge in NBA 2K20, is the best one hands down. First, we're going to look at this tweet from Mike Wang, which was at the start of the year. You need an 86 speed with ball for tier 3 first steps. Speed with ball is 70% speed rating and 30% ball handling. Quick first step makes all of your launches quicker. So as you guys can see me in the my court right here, a launch means if I do a crossover like this and I do a speed boost, I'll just flick up on the stick, right? Hesitation. Hesitation, that's how fast it goes out of the hesitation. Like that. That is what it depends on. You do it like a move, any type of move like that. That's how you get a quick launch. You see people doing that around the park. That's how they get the quick launch. That is what quick first step is coming off. Now we'll have a look at something from 2K Labs, which says right here, with a 90 speed with ball, with no badge, it's 1050 milliseconds with no speed increase. But then you have a look at the bronze. It nearly cuts down the millisecond speed by 100, and then it gives you a 6% increase to your speed. But what I'm looking at for right here for 90 speed with ball, Hall of Fame is the outright best with a 90 speed with ball. So if you do any of the moves I just showed you then in the my court, you'll be able to do that way faster with Hall of Fame quick first step. Now the player I was using just then has Hall of Fame quick first step with a 83 speed with ball, I'm pretty sure. Now with the speed with ball with a 50, as you guys can see, it is dramatically higher and it's harder to get a speed boost. But if you see right here, you only need at best gold, and that's the only one you can actually have with a 50 speed with ball, unless you have like a playmaking pie chart. But gold works just nearly as good, not quite as good. It's like 50 milliseconds off with a 4% speed increase. Not really that much. So for a player who's a pure playmaker, so you run the point guard, you're the main ball handler, quick first step Hall of Fame is a must. Or you can have it on gold. Gold or Hall of Fame. Get a Hall of Fame, must have Hall of Fame. Now for centers or anyone with a 50 speed with ball, gold is the max you should ever put it on, even if you can get a Hall of Fame. If you can get like 30 playmaking badges, then might as well put it on Hall of Fame. But it is the best playmaking badge in the game by far. But this is the first essential badge for point guards. Let's go into the second most essential badge in NBA 2K20. Now for the second most essential badge for any single playmaker, especially if you're running the one guard, is the Handles for Days badge. Now Handles for Days, it helps you with your stamina. Now I'm going to have a graph right here on what it helps with your stamina. As you guys can see with no badge, your rhythm, dribble, your hesitation, and your momentum behind the back, they're the percentages you have of the rate you're going to lose their stamina. With bronze, it drops it by 5% for a rhythm dribble. As you guys can see right here, the best badge by a fair bit is the gold one. That's where it gives you the biggest jump in stats. And if you see right here, with gold to Hall of Fame for the spin, it doesn't give you that much of a difference. Either with the hesitation or the rhythm dribble. Them three, you can have, if you only do them 3 moves, gold will work out perfectly fine for you. Because that 1% increase or 0.5% increase, do you think it's worth an extra badge point? If you have limited badge points, gold will work out fine. But if you have a lot of badge points in your playmaking section, and you use this a lot, you do a lot of these moves like hesitations behind the back, momentum behind the back, turbo hop steps, spin backs, anything like that, Hall of Fame is the must for you. But if you do only simple moves like the spins, the hesitation, and the normal rhythm dribble, I would recommend putting it on gold just for that. If you see from the graph, that is what I'm highly recommend for you guys. So Hall of Fame, as I said, doesn't give you that big of an increase for certain normal dribble moves, but if you do a very advanced dribble moves, Hall of Fame Handles for Days is a must-have badge for your player, but I'd highly recommend putting on at least gold. It's not a good look when you don't have it on at all. As you guys can see, you're going to lose stamina so fast, even though stamina is a major issue in 2K20. And that's why I highly recommend putting on a gold or Hall of Fame, especially if you're the pure playmaker. Put it on Hall of Fame and see how you go. Let's go on to the next badge. Now, the third most essential playmaking badge is the Unlockable Badge. Now, I don't have the exact numbers for this one, sadly, but here's a tweet from Mike Wang. If you're still getting ripped too often with Hoff Unlockable, it's possible that you're over dribbling too close to the defender, might want to try being more efficient with your moves and make sure you have enough space to pull them off. Now what Unlockable does, it reduces the percentage of the times you get ripped when you try to perform a normal dribble move. Now this does not work if you run into them with the ball. If you dribble into their leg, half Unlockable doesn't work. If you get a rebound, half Unlockable doesn't work. It only works when you do certain dribble moves. So if you do a hesitation, behind the back, momentum behind the back, and momentum, anything like that, that's when Unlockable actually activates. Now, what I have seen from myself playing, from the percentage that I have noticed, when I have it on silver, I feel like I don't get it ripped at all. But as soon as I put it on gold, I instantly get ripped a lot of the time. Now, what I'm thinking, because 2K20, at the start of the year, Unlockable was heavily nerfed. And then they buffed it again. They buffed it twice, I think, this year. And it still is not the best. But that's why I'm going to put it third, because it is a must-have badge if you are a guy who likes to dribble a lot. Especially now when people have tendencies, they can rip you every single time, nearly. But if you have a half Unlockable, so what I would recommend for this badge, I would put it on silver, max minimum, or Hall of Fame. I wouldn't put it on bronze or gold. I'll put it on silver or Hall of Fame. That is what the Unlockable badge is made for. So Hall of Fame if you have the extra badge points. Silver if you do not have the extra badge points. Don't bother putting it on a gold because it doesn't increase the chances of you getting ripped any more than having it on silver. And that's how I have noticed. So put it on silver or Hall of Fame, but I highly recommend just leaving it on silver and you'll have the funnest time. You won't be able to get ripped at a high rate. So your percentage of the time you're going to get ripped is going to go down, increasingly down, by the time you put it on silver. Put it on Hall of Fame, the percentage of your time you're getting ripped is probably like 30%. With silver, it's probably like 25%. And with gold, it's like, what, 26%? It gives you like a 1% increase with gold. So that's why I recommend not wasting a badge point on that. But silver Unlockable is the third best playmaking badge that is essential for playmakers. Fourth most essential playmaking badge, in my opinion, is the needle threader badge. Now, I don't have any stats on this, sadly, either. But from my experiences playing with this badge, I have noticed, I've heard a lot of people around the community say, especially comp players, you want to have needle threader on at least bronze, because when you have needle threader on, it helps you pass it harder and faster and slips through the defenders. So if you see defenders who are baiting the steals, who are going for the intercept steals every single time, what needle threader does, it goes through them little gaps of the defense. So if people are sitting there spamming X or spamming square, depending on what console you're on, they're trying to get the steal, you can throw it through the little gap. So if there's a little gap between the player's hand and you, so throw it harder and faster through the defender, be able to get to your teammate easier. So that's why I recommend having needle threader on. It's been my favorite playmaking badge since the start of 2K. It's highly slept on, and a lot of people should be using this badge, but that is the needle threader badge. It's going to the fifth most essential one. Now for the fifth most essential badge, as a pure playmaker, you do know that you make a lot of mistakes when you're a playmaker, okay? When you go for accidental shots, and this badge is a big one from Tyacino, this is his favorite one, which is bail out. Now I don't have the exact numbers, okay? But I'm going to give you another rough estimate of what this does. Now, bail out, if you go for a shot or a layup or a dunk, whatever shot it is, and you pass it out, now what it goes off is your passing accuracy and the level of the badge. Now, if you have bailout on bronze, the percentage of you getting it to that defender, I feel like it is 10% chance of getting into the defender. With Hall of Fame, it's about a 40% chance of getting into the defender, 40 to 50% chance. So a big jump. For bailout, I would put it on the highest one you can actually have it on, either gold or Hall of Fame. Now, when I have it on silver, I do get a lot of my passes to my teammate a lot of the time, but as soon as I put on Hall of Fame, I feel like I get a 90% chance to getting it to my teammate every single time. Bailout is a must-have badge for the people who play the one position, because you do, as I said, you make a mistake once or twice a game, maybe once a game, maybe you don't even make it that once a game, but you will end up making a mistake. And that's why, especially in comp games, that's why you want to have Hall of Fame bailout on, or at least silver bailout, and you'll be able to pass it to your player. Now I'm going to give you another badge really quickly. I'll give you 6 essential badges, then I'll go into the other players who are like 2 guards, centers, whatever have you, who aren't the main playmaker. Now I want to talk about the Space Creator badge. Space Creator is the best playmaking badge just to get highlight clips. I get all my highlight clips from my snatchbacks and my ankle breakers, my hesitation, whatever dribble moves I achieve is all off my Space Creator badge. Now if you do advanced moves, like Tyacino for instance with his Shot Creator, where you do that step back, and it breaks the wrinkles, or you do a snatchback, it breaks the wrinkles. So if you want to create separation between you and the defender, you need Space Creator on Hall of Fame or gold, the max you can have it on. That is why it's an essential badge for point guards, especially if you're playing the one guard. Let's go into the shooting guard and the centers and all that sort of stuff who aren't the primary ball handler, what essential badges you guys should equip. So leave that like. Let's go into this part. Now, for people who aren't the primary ball handler, so if you're playing the corner sitting position, this is the first essential badge that I highly recommend you guys put on. Now is the Floor General badge. Right here from Zach Timmer. Floor General is similar but for offensive. Boosts offensive abilities of teammates when FG is on the floor. And at Hall of Fame, it shows the potential shot percentage of teammates' shots where they stand prior to shooting. Now, another thing from 2K Labs, as you guys can see right here, what it does with the bronze one, it gives your teammates a 1+ to all the offensive, 2 for silver, 3 for gold, and 4 for Hall of Fame. But with the Hall of Fame, it shows the little numbers at the bottom of your feet. When a lot of people have been asking me that is what it is. Hall of Fame Floor General gives you the +4 to everyone's stats. For the offensive stats, it gives you the percentage of the shot they're going to actually make on the court. That's why I highly recommend putting it on, especially if you are the corner sitter, so that your point guard, the primary ball handler, who does all the scoring, can be able to shoot more often. And same with the center, if they're like a stretch center, they want to shoot more often. Hall of Fame Floor General is the perfect one to use, and that's why I highly recommend as the most essential badge, playmaking badge for a shooting guard position or the person. Even if you're a center, put it on Hall of Fame if you have the extra badge, or gold. Doesn't really matter, to help your teammates improve their percentage of the shot and improve their game on the offensive end. The next badge that I recommend for people who aren't the primary ball handler, especially if you're leaking out a lot of the times, like you're just running fast break opportunities every single time, is the downhill badge. Now, what 2K Labs has right here for the downhill badge, without the badge, is the 4.75 seconds from one end of the court to another end of the court with no speed increase. With the bronze, it increases by 0.4 of a second, plus gives you a 9% increase to your speed. Then to silver, gives you a humongous jump from the speed increase from 9% to 21%, but the second speed doesn't go up by that much. But the humongous jump right here is from silver to Hall of Fame. Now, Hall of Fame looks like it is the best tier to put this badge on. So this badge is great for people who run the fast break every single time. So this only activates when you have the ball in your hand. So if you're a player, you're versing like really bad players, you're versing comp, and you see them playing, you're playing really good defense, especially if you're playing in the Gods event, for instance. This badge is incredible because you'll be able to run down the court with incredible speed, and you're able to get a wide open dunk, a wide open 3. No one can catch you if you have it on the Hall of Fame, because you have a 37% speed increase, plus it can take you 3 seconds to go from one bucket to the other bucket, one end to the other end. Easy. That's 3 seconds is like a blink of the eye. That is instant. So that's why I recommend putting this on as an essential badge for the people who aren't the primary ball handler. But if you are a primary ball handler, this could still work for you. If you want to go up the court fast on a fast break, this badge can help you get there and have that wide open 3, because they won't be able to catch. The defender won't even be near you. So that's the next one I want to talk about. The next badge I want to talk about is the Dimer badge. Now here's some stats I got from Google. Now these ones aren't exact numbers, but on an average of 100 shots, with no badge, the percentage of the shot that's going to go in is 80% of the time off no badge with no dimer with a 93 ball. With no badge for a 75 3 ball, 66.67% chance of going in the bucket with no dimer. So off the catch and shoot. Then it goes up by +3 for 75. It goes up by +3% for bronze, plus another percent for silver, another percent for gold, and another percent for Hall of Fame. From no badge to Hall of Fame for 75 3 balls and above. From bronze to Hall of Fame gives you an increase of a 10% chance of the shot going in. With a 93 above, only gives you a 6% increase on the shot going in. So if you're giving it to people who have like a 75 3 ball and below, it's going to give them a greater chance at making the shot. But if they have a 93 ball and above, not going to give them that much higher of a chance to make the shot. I recommend putting this on if you're playing with people who don't have high 3 balls. Have dimer on as a secondary option to Floor General. If you don't like Floor General, this one could be great for you. Now the other badges you guys can use if you're not the primary ball handler, you can use the Space Creator, the handles for days, you can use the quick first step, and you can use the needle threader and the bailout. I already talked about them early in the video, but they are the most essential playmaking badges in NBA 2K20 for every single position that you play, every single play style that you have. But if you guys made it this far in the video, please leave that like. It'd be greatly appreciated, as well as hitting that sub button. We're almost at 61,000 subscribers. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok. All links in the description and the top comment of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace out, man. Finally got my grand badge, boys. Let's go. Snap it. I gotta snap an ankle right here, right now. Oh, he's a perimeter lock. That doesn't matter. He's on his stomach, man. Kid. I feel sorry for this boy. Oh my god, rest in peace. I'm sorry, mate. I don't want to have to do this. Unlock my grand badge. You know what time it is? Oh, take a seat. Sit down. Think about what just happened. I'm here for you.